All right, 19 West Daisy. So, house is a little smaller than it looks online. Your neighbor's house is getting flipped, but it's, you know, some things I like about it and some things I don't. So, the driveway is in pretty good shape. A few cracks here and there, but the flippers that worked on it, you know, and this, you'll see this is a trend throughout, didn't really do anything to clean up. It's pressure wash, you can fix it, but that's an indication of things to come. This exterior stone is an artificial stone. When you get a home inspection, you should have them check behind it to make sure that there's no mold growing. That tends to be a problem with this stuff. So you're going to want to take a look at that. I don't see anything that would be a problem per se with it being a VA deal, but there's just, whoops, there's things here and there that, you know, lack of attention to detail that are driving me nuts. So for example, right here, that's a fairly big gap in newly laid flooring. So it's an attention to detail thing that I'm not enthused about as we walk through here. This is the new AC unit that's going in, or the new furnace that's going in, because the other one is completely shot. But you'll see there's, you know, paint on the floor on the way into the newly remodeled house. The garage is a one-car garage. It's got your main electric panel in here. It has space for potential overhead storage. But the negative is it's an old Pushmatic style box. They'll work fine until they don't work anymore. The biggest problem is finding breakers for this thing. So this is something you would want to definitely budget to replace in the future. It's 150 amp service coming in, which is sufficient for most homeowners, but you would need to probably plan on replacing the box at some point. I'll take you out in the yard real quick. There's, behind this panel, there's like nothing there. It's just a weird kind of an access panel that I guess is for storage. I can't figure out what else it might be for. Yard is nice. The deck is in good shape. That is, that hot tub is an as-is type deal. I couldn't tell you if it works or not. And your home inspector is not going to test that for you as well. Yard's nice. It's in regular shape. Your wellhead is out here in the back. This house is on municipal sewer, however, which I like. It's typically, you know, well and septic. This is well and sewer, which is not common, but I do like it. I believe your property line is right about at this caution tape that's back here. So yard is nice, pretty deep. You can do a lot out here. It's actually a really cool yard. You can enter the house on the second floor from the deck off to the right side of the rear of the house, which is pretty cool. It's one of the nicer features of the house. I do like it. All right, so we're gonna go downstairs first. I will tell you there's a chemical smell that I smell down here. It smells like the carpets were recently shampooed, and I'm hoping you can see this in here. In this room here, there's a fan running behind with, and I don't have a flashlight with me other than my phone, so unfortunately I can't see it, but there's very clearly some dampness that they're trying to air out from behind where the water filtration is. I don't know if it's from rain or what it's from, but they're definitely trying to air that out. So that's a little bit of a pause for me. There's another small room over here, which I guess you could use for an office or something. One of the things you're going to see throughout this house, though, is the windows are fogging. Many of them have bad seals, and many of them the hardware is not working properly, so there's some expense there. In the mechanical room, so you have a sub panel here that has an open breaker on it. You'd want to get that fixed. Missing handle on the casement windows. Your oil tank, oil tank appears to be in pretty good shape. You know, they'll last indefinitely. But it appears to be in good shape. I don't see any rust on it, so that's a good thing. Electric water heater, not oil fired, which you could consider replacing with in the future. And you can see here where the the current defunct heater is that'll need to be replaced. This is interesting down here. This is some sort of a sump pit with pea gravel on the inside of the house, so I would watch that closely. This room down here is pretty cool. I couldn't tell you anything about the operation of the fireplace and how it works. We'd have to see about getting that through inspection. There are no disclosures for this house. I already asked, so sellers aren't going to know, so you'd have to have that thoroughly inspected. But what's cool about this room, besides the bar and besides the fireplace, there's actually a full shower back in here, which is pretty convenient. So in theory, you could make this into an extra living space. Would it be legal? Because it only has the one access. But you know, you could use this as an additional living space as time goes on and the family grows. So upstairs. Upstairs has a pretty good living space here. Again, same story at the windows. I'll do a quick pan around it. Okay, so there's a dining room there, kitchen through there, and then that hallway brings you to the rest of the living space. So we'll go up in here real quick. Same story at the windows, fogging, broken, but it's a nice neighborhood. Decent dining room. It's all, you know, flipper special type stuff. It's all, you know, pretty much stock things you can get at Lowe's and Home Depot. But it's a nicely done kitchen. It is electric cooking. If you wanted to put in gas, you'd have to get a propane hookup and add that after closing. It's a nice sink. And then this is the enclosed porch I mentioned earlier. Earlier. It is screened in. However, you can see there's some friends on the inside of the screen, bumblebees, beetles, and whatnot, because there is no door, so you'd want to put a screen door in there. There's two fans out here, but they didn't use exterior grade fans because you can see the warping on the blades, so you'd want to change those blades out for something that can handle the moisture and humidity. These shingles here are probably asbestos based, so your inspector is going to point them out and tell you that. If you're concerned about them, there's tests that'll tell you whether or not they are in fact asbestos, but at the end of the day, they're outside of the house. You're not going to be breathing in any dust that might come off of them, and this material tends not to kick up any friable dust. So from a health standpoint, they're the least thing asbestos-wise to worry about, but it is more than likely asbestos. All right, so we'll go down the main hallway. There's 3 bedrooms up top. Okay, you got a little storage in the hallway and a Jack and Jill style bedroom. Bedrooms aren't huge. It's kind of interesting. So there's no overhead lighting in this room. But there's a fogged window. So there's no overhead lighting in this room. Presumably this switch over here controls that outlet. There is overhead lighting in this room, but in order to control it, there's no switch on the wall. You've got to do the pull cord. That's just kind of a detail thing that kind of annoys me. Other detail things. Flipper that had this one appears to have just simply painted over the wallpaper border in this room. Okay, and you can see it all the way around. So attention to detail work sucks. Mentioned, you know, missing handles. This one is broken, and when you operate it, it comes off the track. So pretty much every window in this house needs some sort of repair. In here, this would be the master. Comes complete with 2 fog windows. Decent size. It's got an okay sized closet, not the biggest, but it does go into the Jack and Jill bathroom here, which is kind of cool. This is all big box, special type furniture, but again, attention to detail. Left paint on there. Drives me nuts. Okay, you know, it's just, you know, I showed Jess there was, you know, streaks inside there when I came and checked the toilet before, so that doesn't make me happy. But it's a nice bathroom. You know, it's fairly, excuse me, it's fairly typical of what you see out there. But this is kind of it. You definitely got to go look at stuff before you throw offers at it. So let me know what you guys want to do.